strongest mid laner he can be for his squad. As we blaze through all the bans, maybe.
Scout Rise early on, maybe, because the Varus ban's a little bit peculiar to me. JDG and Peyz had a very high priority on Varus last split, and Peyz plays it really well. And for me, the one type of composition that I just would not give JDG under any circumstances, 3 winning lanes and winning jungle. Now, oh, Taliyah got through. Of course we're going Taliyah. Now, I know that like that sounds basic like Cubby. Of course you don't want to hand over 3 winning lanes and winning jungle. That's the one comp I've seen Shun and JDG just have consistent success on. It feels like Shun's playing on BLG again, right? Just like, okay, just draft wins everywhere and we're going to figure this out, right? So we'll say with Taliyah showing early on, opportunity to pair up with Scout in the mid lane. Opportunity for Scout to have a bigger game. I think his Taliyah has been solid. We'll see how Top Esports drafts into this pick as Taliyah continues to run the Rift.
Top Esports are going to try to break apart that guaranteed seismic shove combo synergy by sniping away the Xin Zhao, and because the Trundle is now out of the table, it means that there's no way that JDG can lock in an early game jungler that will stat check Xin Zhao. So Top Esports will look for the Orianna as their answer into the Taliyah. You already mentioned it, Wukong will probably be the next best in line, but quick swap up, it's going to be the Victor instead. There's a little bit more control with those lasers and the Chaos Storm as well as the Gravity Zone.
Yeah, Victor provides a harder lane for Taliyah, but of course, what I always like to say about Victor, you lane well, you scale well, you cannot move. Taliyah is going to have moves on you, and Victor's answer is to try and farm his way up to where when Taliyah moves, it's very punishing. It's hard to match early on as Victor. So that being said, not going to be the Wukong, actually going to be the Cataclysm. Threatening Victor Flash, I mean, that's a very winning formula. We've seen the Victor Azir matchup been played for a long time. It's all about Victor's Flash windows. Trying to get Victor's Flash out made a lot easier by a champion like Jarvan, where Cataclysm for Flash trades very common. Flag and Drag can prompt a lot of flashes too. So a little bit of a different pickup from what we were expecting versus the Wukong, but still a good one for Shun.
A little bit of less carry potential when you go for the Jarvan versus the Wukong, but you still have a lot of play-making potential. And yeah, that's a curious one. Blinding the K'Sante, and now 369 goes for the easy slam dunk of the Gnar matchup. If Jarvan can never come topside and pressure this Gnar, this 369 lane is going to run away with it against Xiaoxu.
Gnar's a very happy camper in the Jarvan. You have the hop to get away from the Flag and Drag, and then he creates terrain for you. And also you can control Taliyah playing into the rocks. It's pretty hard to lock down Gnar, because again, if you can hop out. So I like this pick for 369. Should be a lane that he can get a little bit of an edge in. We'll see how we round out the comps with bot lanes. I assume we're going to see an Ezreal ban come out here from JDG. As we'll see if a Jhin maybe gets rid of. I think Jin's a little bit scary for Victor. He's like really play to out interact him with range. Okay, and so they're going to take away Corki. I think they want Ezreal.
Yeah, because you want to get rid of AD carries. Yeah, get rid of AD carries that can easily get out of a Cataclysm even without Flash on cooldown, right? So that makes the most sense to me. Because then if you're forced to carries like Jhin, Misfortune, those champions without Flash are sitting ducks alongside the Victor for an easy Cataclysm setup. I am a little curious about what is going to be the pairing, though, with JDG for Cataclysm. Because right now, because you couldn't get the Rumble with this Jarvan since it was already taken in the first game, the only thing that you're setting up this Cataclysm for is for a Seismic Shove combo, which is not necessarily always guaranteed if they miss the Seismic Shove inside that AoE circle. So Peyz really has to be some type of AD carry that has a lot of burst damage that can be thrown into the Cataclysm.
Maybe a Misfortune for Peyz at the moment, hovering the Aphelios. We have seen Aphelios make a little bit of a comeback, has gotten some small buffs, getting more play with Gumayushi. If you go Aphelios Thresh, it can be a pretty difficult lane to play into if you are Kai'Sa, or Tom Kench is well an option, as Aphelios will be the pickup here for Peyz. Also, opportunity to go Milio. Milio pairs really well with Aphelios. Of course, your guns control what you do, extending the range of those, always very powerful.
And you already have a tank in Xiaoxu and primary engage from the Jarvan, so you don't necessarily need a tank support.
You know a Nautilus is coming if you don't pick Nautilus. I think that's kind of my theory here. So if you do go Nautilus, I think Leona is still very real and playable here for Hong. just have reach to try and get to the Aphelios, Taliyah, or Rel. Okay, just a Rel. All right. I think it's really important that JDG gets a win in the bot lane. Hopefully they can use the Taliyah to actually collapse into bot and really set this Kai'Sa behind, because 369 drafted a winning lane, plays very well on the top shot side that's showing for JDG. And if the Taliyah doesn't have an impact on things outside of just her lane, or they can't win the 2v2 mid by like getting Victor's flash out, or if that isolation or matchup is isolated, the Victor will win. So yeah, really important that Scout's able to have an impact. I assume it's going to be bot lane playing towards that Aphelios. On the flip side, I really like Top Esports, their ability to use Kai'Sa to attack. I think Kai'Sa's a very happy marksman this game. It's difficult to play into Aphelios, but she's really happy in everything else.
Can always use that killer instinct to reposition in a hectic and chaotic team fight come mid and late game. So I'm with you on that one. JDG really have to hammer home this 2v2 jungle mid advantage early on before the Victor comes online, like you said, and hopefully JDG this time around will play towards Peyz before the game completely falls out of their control, and Peyz will get a chance to at least feel like he is having some agency in the game and have a chance to carry. We're gonna see how it all unfolds here, Matt, as both the teams starting to load in. You get a chance to see these champions locked in one last time, and the skins that they're using as well. As we're about to head to Summoner's Rift, y'all.
Show the skins? I thought esports didn't help with marketing, personally.
Oh my goodness. It's game 2 between JDG and Top Esports.
JackeyLove not using his own Kai'Sa skin, instead deciding to honor LPL legend and Hall of Legend inductee and Uzi with the skin selection that he has. Also paying patronage to our forefathers of Riot Games. Just kidding, it's free in the TR realm, but it's fine. Still cool looking here for JackeyLove. Rock the very swaggy new Kai'Sa skin you can find in the store.
Very awesome to access such a beautiful skin. As Top Esports, we'll see if they can leverage some of these iconic champions for a couple of their members here. JackeyLove, notably, even though he's not using his world skin when he won LPL's first world championship title in 2018 with IG, it's still a nice one to use, since it has been.
I think honoring Uzi is a good thing, Raafaa? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, also...
Wow. Controversial.
The skin team put a lot of love and work into, putting this.
Of course they did. You know, I just can't believe that you're pro EDG and pro Uzi in the same stream.
What, I can't support multiple teams?
I feel like LOL history, you cannot support both Uzi and EDG, actually. Except for the stint where Uzi went there, and that also was a stint that I don't think either party wanted to support the other in. So, that said, we have both of our junglers working their way towards the bot lane to try and impact this matchup. And we do see the Kai'Sa Rel winning out early on. Hong able to use the power of the Rel, those shields, and drills early levels to make sure that the Kai'Sa can have some priority.
I want to go back to what you called out for, Matt. JDG really want to play towards leveraging Peyz and Wink on the
Hello, Scout.
But Kanavi, this is going to be a nice early showing onto Scout's Taliyah. He's got no mana, trying to throw as many rocks as possible, but he's got Shun in his back pocket, but still forced to flash. Shun will be able to at least get a jump onto Kanavi as he face checks the brush, but Scout has no mana. And Kanavi can just literally walk up and down smash this guy. So yeah, Shun has to concede the jungle. And now, as you called it, there's bot pro coming in from Top Esports. So Shun, even though he has a better jungler to combat in the early game, it's still the same story as game 1. Kanavi shoving Shun out of his own red side quadrant.
This is so good from Top Esports, man. I love how Kanavi's playing this. He's going to be on a ward. Scout actually TP'd to the bot inner turret. And we get a replay. Looks like some summoner spells were lost here for Peyz and Wink. Lost cleanse, lost heal. And Kanavi now looking for Scout, who's flashless.
Oh my goodness, Scout, please! And Shun doesn't come over in time, so Scout lost his flash, TP's bot, tries to walk back to mid lane, dies anyway. That's first blood for top esports, and, you know, maybe. Look at the minions that he's losing for this.
What a depressing series for Scout so far, Raafaa. Like, holy cow. The TP to try and save this, and look, this isn't all Scout's fault. I think Kanavi, the look he had, you know, going 3 camp to mid's quite good. But Scout TPing to that turret to try and help his jungler out. Like, yes, Shun's game is okay, but at what cost? Scout's game is ruined from that.
My biggest question is Scout trying to, like, at least communicate to Shun and the rest of his team, guys, I need help coming back to mid lane. I just TP'd to the bot turret. There's a big minion wave.
He can't get help. His bot lane was jailed, too, so, like, that's also an issue. I mean, Shun's winning out pretty big on this. Don't get me wrong. He's got 2 camps away, so that invaded from Kanavi. Like, yes, you got Scout's flash. Yes, you know, you can have a rinse and repeat mid, but you actually are pretty far behind now as the Xin Zhao. You did lose out on multiple camps. Oh, no.
Okay. No. He should be fine.
Okay.
Hong doesn't have flash, so he cannot punish Shun here, overextending his welcome. Now, like we said in that, you know, we get the chance to calm down. It was, you know, just the first couple of minutes of the game. It's only one death to Scout. He is down effectively a full minion wave, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world. A level advantage is now what Creme gets as a response. But if Scout can still play for the level 6 advantage, trying to roam towards the bot side, trying to help leverage Peyz and Wink on this Aphelios and Nautilus bot lane, one that we have highlighted so far as the difference maker for this draft for JDG, then you know what? We can look back at the early woes and be like, haha, you know, that was weird, you know, it happened, but, you know, at least it didn't make JDG completely punched out of the game.
Yes, but the early woes are so expensive for, like, actually helping him do that. As, ooh. I think we're going to get a wraparound here from Jarvan. This is going to be necessary. Creme should be able to flash out, see if he can react.
Nice EQ by Shun. Creme, I think he's just accepted his fate. He's not going to be able to make the distance here. And Scout even had a well-placed seismic shove, just in case Creme was thinking about looking for a flash.
So, lesson at home, guys. If you're playing against Jarvan, you need those wards to be out of the brush. Or I guess you have a game between in the brush or out of the brush, because as you can see, the route through the corner. Yeah, you can see it right there. Observers are showing it. That route, you are not spotted. You can only spot it if you place that ward outside of the embankment brush. So if you ever have a jungler that can't get into that brush, placing it outside is better. Now, Jarvan can EQ in there, get around the vision too. So, okay, the ward was dropped where it was at. That's a little punishing for Creme. Much needed for Scout to get a little bit of reprieve in the mid lane. And slowing down that Victor is valuable. Yeah.
And the nice thing here is that before there was chain ganks coming in from top esports. Hang on. Hong is in trouble. Okay, well, this
Can Dragon be taken in time?
Maybe.
It can't.
I mean,
wow, that's big.
Kanavi's here on the bottom side of the map. No,
that's big.
I mean, yeah, Shun able to stop that thanks to his presence on the bottom side of the map. Kanavi cannot commit to the Dragon.
That's really big. That's a very, very big delay onto what top esports wants to do here. The game plan was to keep the 2v1, take the Drake. Kanavi was forced all the way off, so a good find by Shun and a bit of an unforced error there by Hong.
Wink now trying to see if he can threaten 369. This is Mini Gnar. Still has yet to use the hop. So all the CC spells have been expended, and 369 still playing range, trying to
He's chilling
his way. Yeah, he is totally fine. He is level 7.
He's got the steel caps. Yeah.
Both Peyz and Wink are 5 and 5 respectively, so not enough to really threaten. Top Esports will return to the Dragon now that Hong has returned to the bottom side of the map with JackeyLove.
You want to say nice lesson there from both of our top laners, why those early boots, steel caps can be valuable. You get in a scenario like this and you're still kind of okay being there. Scout going to be forced out of mid. Does have the Weaver's wall. Yeah, does not
nicely
have a
done.
TP.
Yeah, top esports doing this right before the grub spawn. Shun is going to look for a quick snag on the red buff, but 369 sniffs it out, and Shun might be in trouble here. Cannot commit to the red buff invade. The question is, he's going to get jumped on. Good snag by Wink.
Nice.
Stops Hong from being able to get the full combo onto Shun, and it gives him enough time for him to flash away. But now top esports, they have prio from Creme once again because he used the ultimate to force Scout away. Grub's now being stopped or started by Kanavi. Creme is here. No Chaos Storm available, but he is the first mid laner here.
Scout is Weaver's
now
wall.
Going to join with the Weaver's wall, looking for the seismic shove right into Kanavi. Wink commits forward. Kanavi pushes them back with a Crescent Guard, but the Cataclysm will force the flash out of the jungler for top esports. Here comes the Moonlight Vigil. Oh, it whiffed! Oh, man. can, but here comes Xiaoxu over the wall. He will at least be able to clean up the kills, and JDG pick up the feats of warfare.
It's going to be a 2-for-1 grubs for JDG, but I got to say, they invested a lot into this play. Good walk from Xiaoxu to make it. JackeyLove did get some free time during all this, and JDG pretty much burned everything in the toolbox to just make sure it's a 2-for-1 for grubs, and they got 1 kill. I don't know how worth it it's going to be. Hey, look at the flashes they burned in that. Xiaoxu, Scout, and Wink all flashed. Weaver's Wall was used. Xiaoxu TP was used. Nothing was used by Top Esports outside of Zen Flash and Crescent Guard. Because obviously he goes down in the end. Bit of a unlucky Q there from Wink as a minion spawn to hop in front. Flash from Kanavi was a little bit delayed to avoid the Cataclysm damage, but necessary to get away from the terrain. That's what he was hoping to flash, and he would have gotten out if it wasn't for Xiaoxu making the roam. Good play off the Cassante there to at least make sure they secure 1 kill, but still, a lot was invested, and that matters for me in a game where JDG has to make sure this game pace is faster. Because now, like, look at all the flashes and the TPs that are still up for Top Esports to respond and make sure this game slows down and then get back to a happy spot.
For that, JDG are not even that far ahead in gold. There's like a few hundred gold advantages for both Xiaoxu on Cassante and for Shun, but in the grand scheme of things, that is not going to be the difference maker. It is going to come down to JDG continuously making these type of fast plays, trying to play off of Top Esports before they all come online. You have mentioned before that this Victor is going to get scarier and scarier in the side lane for Taliyah to deal with. This Kai'Sa is going to become a monster towards the later stages of the game, and even though Peyz might be a remarkable Aphelios player, JackeyLove will have the freedom to reposition as he needs to in these make or break moments in those fights. Peyz will not have the same luxury.
Oh, I mean, important to note too, you don't have the Aphelios get a jail free card. Like a lot of the common pairings we've seen throughout history of Aphelios is Thresher TK. No Thresher TK bailouts available for Peyz' Aphelios, so we'll have to be on point, something that Peyz definitely capable of as a player. And one of the players for JDG that we still feel like is performing in spite of some of the early split woes we've had for JDG.
Going with the Collector Rush too, just really trying to bank on this first item.
I've seen some Yo moves
for JDG.
I think it's Collector.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We'll see.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Hong's in trouble. Okay, well, free pickup for JDG, able to pick out the support while his jungler was rotating out back to safety as Kanavi will take a very safe base.
I don't really know what Hong was doing there, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm...
you took some time to think. You're like, yeah.
I was trying to see if I could rack up a case, you know, to defend him with, but I got nothing. I got nothing.
It's fine. It's just a happy little support death. Only happy little accidents here for Hong. We'll see if he can find those big rel engages later on in this one. As still, Top Esports wanted to keep this game a little bit slower. 1K gold deficit, not exactly ideal for them, but I think the scaling they have in the comp with the Victor, with the Kai'Sa is quite nice, and those two are sitting pretty in this game.
Yeah. One item spikes are now coming online for a majority of the champions here on the Rift. Rod of Ages completed for Creme's Victor. Sundered Sky for both of our junglers here. Kraken Slayer was already done for JackeyLove a little bit a ways ago, but has not completed the tier 2 boots, whereas Peyz, took that detour, is opting in for the Collector since it is the Serrated Dirk plus the Pickaxe. I don't think it'll be a Serpent thing. Wow, but with that Collector and the crit scaling, will allow Peyz to still scale into the later stages of the game decently once he gets toward that Infinity Edge power spike as well. JDG trying to play around the second dragon. Wink and Peyz trying to do their best to maintain mid-prio as the teleport is coming in from Creme.
See what kind of Taliyah wall we get at the moment. Scout actually being fooled a bit by 369. That's a nice engage.
Oh, nice find. Death charge. It's the flash out of JackeyLove. He's able to position away back to safety.
Chunked.
Killer Instinct is still available. And the dragon that was attempted by Kanavi is forced to drop it. As now JDG will get a chance to take position in the river with the committed teleport from Xiaoxu.
I like the engage from Shun because you chunk a member that can't get back. Like, if you chunk 369, he could have TP'd back, but by chunking JackeyLove, He's forced to base, so it doesn't lead to any kills, but is an objective secured here as the Infernal Drake is taken, and we'll see what type of soul we get on the Rift. Ocean Soul hits the Rift. Ocean Soul is just a state of mind. Creme doing his best to clear out this wave, knows that the troops are coming.
Good knock-up. Creme tries to flash away towards the south, but I'm not sure what he is delaying for because Xiaoxu is so tanky that he can absorb quite a number of turret shots, and that guarantees JDG will pick up another kill onto Creme's Victor.
Race for first brick is on as plates have fallen. Kanavi spotted by a ward here. Oh, okay. Got Peyz's flash. He had the 3 Talon Strike prepped. Well played by Kanavi. And a good summoner spell take away from Peyz. First brick.
Yeah. A good patience by Kanavi. I can imagine that once Hong connects with the stun, he can go back in for the confirmed knockup just to get that chain CC layering so that Peyz has no way to escape. But flashing the Q stun, he'll at least be able to preserve his life and not drop a death so far against top esports. And we still arrive at the same story where JDG, despite all of the early game advantages that they are finding for themselves, it's still just under 2,000, if not 1,000 gold advantage for themselves. Maybe with this turret picked up for Scout. Oh no. Oh no, Scout! He doesn't have Weaver's Wall! Okay, he does. Alright. Okay. Flash Weaver's Wall. He did it!
It has not been a good series for Scout. It has not been a good split for Scout. We're hoping things improve.
Oh boy.
At least he got out. Still not great.
Yeah.
Rift Herald started though. Creme can't respond. There's no TP on the Victor. I think this is given. It's positives for JDG.
Yes. Only looking up from here. Creme will get a chance to push in this wave uncontested while Scout just goes for some crow camps. But as you called out, the Rift Herald is secured for JDG. Now the rest of top esports are taking up position in this bottom quadrant. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what? Big Kruk only gave away 19 gold. It could be worse. Creme with unchallenged priority as the victor will get another turret for the side of top esports. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the third dragon of the game while JDG picked up for themselves another turret, and they didn't use the Rift Herald for it, so they'll still have a chance to look somewhere else on the map to try and get these gold injections and try and accelerate the pace of the game for themselves here.
Trinity Force Gnar should be coming in pretty soon. Probably next base. Should definitely help against Cassante. Still probably can't move him yet, but 369 has amassed some more resources on himself. Meanwhile, oh, that's a good find.
Down onto Wink. Yeah, Nautilus is blown up and Peyz. Remember, he doesn't have flash from before. Top esports, easy secure onto 2.
I feel like top was known, or it was known that top was there, and it's just JDG refusing the cross map. Walked into a side of the map that wasn't theirs. Top, they put the time and resources to get there first. They tried to force, and that's a nice find by Hong. It forgives some of his sins, picked up the Nautilus. Meanwhile, though, JackeyLove, he's down flash, down killer instinct, and he is the target.
EQ doesn't quite land, though, and the seismic shove is sidestepped as well because JackeyLove is too fast. Xiaoxu goes with the all-out on the Kanavi. He doesn't have a flash either, but 369 buying space as Mini-Gnar, by the way. The Death Charge connects onto JackeyLove, and Xiaoxu is committing the flash into the backline, but he cannot get enough damage onto Kanavi or JackeyLove. Both of them survive, and the rest of JDG are just forced to give space over to top esports.
Why is JDG opting into a 4v5, Raafaa? Like, you should be able to time some of these TPs. I know that JackeyLove down Killer Instinct, down Flash, but with the help of all of his friends around him. And you're signing up for a 4v5 with no Scout.
Matt, I would love to know the answers to those questions. Unfortunately, I've been asking similar questions all split long. And half of the time during split 2. So you understand the pain I'm in as we take a look back at the replay.
You know what? You can wait for someone to show mid before you walk in here. I think that's the right answer for JDG. Scout was showing bots, so again, was no one was here. And then this next fight, you're signing up to fight without your Aphelios. I misspoke. I said Scout. No Aphelios. I just don't think this fight ever exists. I mean, look at the ability for Victor to hold the wall. That gravity well took down 2. And top esports, as long as they never walk through that choke, they aren't under any real threat. JDG couldn't push for any fight past that that brush, and yeah. I don't know what we're signing up for. again, like JDG, I think the real concern is, yeah, we've seen some disconnect in terms of how they execute plays, but where's the connect in like what plays we should be executing as a team? Like, why are we signing up for 4v5s being down numbers like this? This is not characteristic of any of the top teams we have from LPL. As I think one of the best traits of this region is their ability to push numbers advantages, not sign up for number disadvantages.
Whether that question will be resolved or answered in this game, who knows? Top Esports will defend the charge from taking the turret out completely. As Kanavi is now forcing the engage on the JDG. Good slam by 369 with the wall. Look at JackeyLove. Perfect Kaisa with the killer instinct positioning.
GG.
As he can just find an isolated 1v1 into Shun. 369 might get dropped by Xiaoxu. No! He hops over the wall and he's 369! Oh my god, 369 is just curb stomping them, and he's Fortnite dancing on them too. JDG suffer a massive ace. It's a triple kill for JackeyLove. Wrap this one up. I'm ready for this series to be over.
Oh, JDG, they went on a scouting mission to find God, but sadly, God was missing, as JDG can't come up with anything against Top Esports. And I mean, what is this showing from JDG? This is just not the team that we're used to seeing, even with some of the struggles we saw from Split 2. And disengaged into 369. You're throwing a Weaver's Wall and a Cataclysm, and ours way up against a rock at a hard place. Quite literally, as 369 throws you into a wall, jumps over a wall later on to escape any signs of death. And like, what's the execution? What's the plan here for JDG? I don't know. These are not winning plays that we're taking, and then we're getting styled on in the back half.
Oh my goodness, bro! I'm at a loss for words. The audience, the Top Esports fans are having a blast, you know? And they absolutely deserve to be having a blast because their team is killing it and they're styling on JDG right now. This is such a tough series to watch if you are a JDG fan. And I know many JDG fans in the Twitter space, Matt, and
I don't think you're going to be hearing from them after this series.
No, and I'm going to check in on them and just make sure that they're doing okay, and they've got some comfort food, and that
my old friend.
That sometimes this is just the woes of supporting an LPL team. This is the woes of supporting a team that you have a lot of passion and a lot of attachment to, because sometimes this is just how it goes. This is how it goes, but it's always never a fun trip to endure when it does happen.
The last time I tweeted about JDG, it was at the end of last split, and I said that they should probably go to Galveston, which is a running joke in NBA Twitter, where it's when you don't play good enough to go to Cancun and vacation. I don't think they ever left Galveston.
Oh my goodness.
They might have left a few members behind. It doesn't feel like JDG ever left Galveston.
Oh, man. Well, JDG are definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board, and I'm curious to see who their next opponent will be, because if they want to improve morale fast, they gotta hope that they're playing against FPX next. That will be a chance for them to, try and be like, all right, guys, let's bring it back. Let's work on, getting a feel-good series in for ourselves, or at least ones that we don't get absolutely astroglided on. Because it's just so crazy that JDG had some decent early game looks, and now it's all been dashed away in a matter of minutes. As Scout's going to look for the Weaver's Wall. Creme is isolated with Hong on the right side, but the dredge line doesn't quite hit. Seismic Shove does slick him back. Hong and 369 looking for Scout. He flashes away from the Mega Gnar ulti, but JackeyLove in the middle for 3 members, but Kanavi joins him as well, and maybe ensuring that Peyz goes down. Scout now completely isolated, and yep, that's it. Done and dusted. Top Esports finding another massive win. Not a complete 5-man ace. Shun was able to escape, but Top Esports, man, these guys are just killing it on the Rift today.
JDG, nowhere to be found as Top Esports. They continue to cruise. Look like the strongest team we have so far in Group Ascension. One that hasn't been tested. I don't think they've played the teams yet. Feels like BOG and AL still the teams to beat coming out of MSI, but Top Esports, again, the team we sent to the Split 1 International that disappointed the LPL, looking to earn the right to return to the international stage to try and compete at Worlds. Looking pretty good doing so against JDG, another team with international hopes that Looks like those hopes are pretty far away from being able to execute. I mean, the conditions coming into this fight already pretty grim. Really forcing around the Otacon, and Hong couldn't sync up with 369, but did get the flash out of both carries to that engage, and any chance to win a fight with both carries flashing into the enemy team in that position. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good take from Hong, and a pretty tough fight for JDG to win.
Yeah. Really love the synchronicity from both Kanavi and JackeyLove once they both spotted Scout and Peyz burning their flashes from the engage of 369 and Hong, that they knew we have to do this together or not at all. And once JackeyLove sends it with the Killer Instinct, Kanavi will just as enthusiastically join his AD carry brother into finishing off the squishy carries of JDG. And now they're ahead around 9,000 gold, almost at 10,000 gold, point of no return, but with the objectives on their hands and the Otacon secured as well, this feels like even more of a devastating gold advantage. And I mean, Cubby, we were convinced that the game was over even before that fight. It was on the top side of the map where 369 got out with literally less than 50 HP. So I don't know, JDG, 2-item Aphelios, 2-item Talia. I don't want to say there's hope, but, you know, is there a 1%? Is there a 1% chance?
No.
Never mind. Never mind.
Goodbye, Wink. you blink and you miss Wink going down.
Yeah. Someone had to face check onto the top side of the map as Baron did spawn, and Kanavi is just making sure that no one from JDG will get a chance to peek their heads into it. Scout is going to go for a quick pick onto 369, who's about to go into mini form, so will not have access to Mega. Attempts to throw a house. Slows Scout briefly, but a teleport is now coming in. Look at this. Top Esports are going to commit to 2 different plays. Creme is going to try to bail out 369 to make sure that he escapes. Cataclysm already used. 369 will eventually get bursted out by Peyz's Aphelios. The big shutdown bounty. Creme and Hong are going to try to turn this fight around as Creme is just stalling for time, but the Baron was already secured by JackeyLove and Kanavi on the other side of the map.
Peyz has decent guns to try and heal back up, but I don't think there's going to be any Dragon contest. As Top Esports hanging around to make sure it's not a quick start for JDG is, yeah, the rest of the members just returning the lane. I mean, that Dragon's pretty null and void. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things as this game continues to go closer and closer to Top Esports' way. Decent look from JDG to get something, but I'm looking at the scoreboard and I see Peyz down a full Nashor's Tooth to the Kaisa, and still think things are pretty grim.
At least for JDG's sake, they can say that, hey, we have slowed down the Ocean Soul for Top Esports. Whereas Top Esports are saying to themselves, I think we were going to win this game before we even got to Ocean Soul.
If I'm Top Esports, I'm making dinner plans right now. Let's be honest. Guys, where are we going after this? We just baptized JDG. Is it barbecue? Is it some Heidi Wow? Is it what do we got going on?
I don't know if they. I don't know if they probably have different names for the hot pot.
Heidi Wow is big over in China. I do know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the hot pot ball. You know.
I don't know exactly what it's like, if it's called Heidi Wow or something else over there, but.
Okay, again, listen, my producer Kai is about to roast me, but I've never been to a Heidi Lao before, so I was not familiar with it as like a brand. I thought, yeah, I have no knowledge on it, but you know, yeah, they can go to Heidi Lao, they can go to a barbecue place, they can do whatever they want. Top Esports have definitely put in the work to put a closing bow on this series as Wink tries to send it onto Creme, knowing that he does not have Flash. He doesn't have Stasis either. Not enough damage, though, from Peyz on the Moonlight Vigil to finish off this Victor. Xiaoxu falls next. Shun has already bitten the dust, and now it's down to the 2 squishy carries and Scout and Peyz to try and defend and make a miracle out of it, but I think we all know how this story will end.
Raafaa.
Top Esports were very dominant in games 1 and games 2. Not even a chance for JDG to bring this one back from the brink as Peyz is forced to flash away from the 3-challenge strike. As Top Esports will look to pad the KDA, pad the stats, and make sure that it's another ace just for damn good measure. Top Esports going to clean this series 2-0 against JDG.
I mean, just 2 blastings of JDG as Top Esports ensures that we have an early night, Raafaa, going home here at the LPL. Our show started 2 hours and 30 minutes ago. Or 3 hours and 30 minutes ago. We had 4 games and 4 stomps thanks to EDG and Top Esports taking care of business against the competition. Top Esports remains a top group ascension. And the questions remain for JDG about where this team is at and where this team is going to go.
For JDG fans, it is a quite heavy concern. It would be one thing if these individual performances came out of nowhere, but they have been lurking in the backs of JDG's fans' minds ever since Split 2. And they have been hoping that it was, you know, maybe only temporary flashes, some hiccups from here and there, but this has been starting to become less of a anomaly and more of a persisting occurrence for JDG. And even though they made roster changes in the support role, which I think, you know, was understandably made, trying to get in Wink and, you know, let Missing go. Xiaoxu for Ala. We'll see how that pans out. Looked like Xiaoxu was trying to do his best to make an impact in this game.
Yeah, this one's not on him.
I don't have any quarrel with the new roster additions. You know where my quarrel lies with that. So
I mean, I think Scout between the 2 games was down 5 levels. Not a great look.
Hope morale improves and hope JDG can really tie together. And the reason why we're so bent on this, y'all, is we want LPL domestically to be as competitive as possible so that when they go to the international stage, they have been tested, or they will have been tested by the best that the other teams that played against them could offer, so that they are ready against the best teams in the world. Most of them are going to be challengers from LCK. You know, I want to see LPL throw down.
I mean, dude, if JDG is playing like this, they should not. The last thing they should do is worry about LCK. Let's get that straight.
No, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm also saying for the sake of, but for the sake of a team like Top Esports, who currently is at the top of Group Ascend right now and is on track to be one of those teams that goes to Worlds, I want them getting challenged and tested. I don't want them just. I mean, if they're rolling over teams. And JDG, you know, was playing better